Hey guys, it's Leah B from Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. I am a U.S. Army veteran, physician assistant, and former compensation and pension examiner. So today I want to come on and discuss smoking and how that can be related to VA disability. So big surprise, veterans are more commonly found to be smokers, veterans and active duty service members, than non-veterans, right? I myself was a habitual smoker while I was on active duty. You might be surprised to know that, especially when I was younger and I was enlisted. It was not uncommon, especially when I was in the 82nd. I have my special 82nd Airborne shirt on today, in fact, to whip out a cigarette, smoke it, and then run down Ardennes Street. Okay, so some of you that were stationed there probably know what I'm talking about. It was common. Even when service members were deployed many years ago, right? They were in their rations. Okay, it was a different time. 40, 50 years ago, when we didn't really understand the implications of smoking and how bad it can be and the health effects that it could, transition to. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I have some notes here and I'm going to read off some more statistics for you and some literature about how this could apply. Okay. So, smoking can have significant health implications, like I mentioned, potentially impacting one's eligibility for VA disability benefits if it leads to a service-connected disability. If a veteran can demonstrate that smoking-related conditions resulted from or were aggravated by their military service, they may be eligible for compensation. Now, of course, all of this is subject to the individual's experience and their medical history. You want to follow up with an accredited claims agent or other legal professional like a BSO or an attorney to understand how that may impact you, okay? So if a veteran, like I said, can demonstrate that a service-connected disability led to that, and we're going to dig into that a little bit further here momentarily. So this doesn't just mean, hey, I smoked on active duty and so I have COPD now, so it's the military's fault, right? That's not what I'm trying to say. So it's sort of like an intermediate step, like we talk about with weight gain, right? So if you have a medical condition that caused tobacco use that was service connected, let's say PTSD, depression, anxiety, whatever, you have like significant stress in your life, and that the use of that tobacco product was a major cause of the secondary disability, let's say it's lung cancer or COPD or whatever. And then that condition, whatever that condition is, COPD, for example, would not have occurred or manifested if it had not been for the smoking. Well, you might have something there. Okay. Again, I always throw out this disclaimer. I am a PA, a physician assistant. I write medical opinions. I used to do CMP examinations. I'm not a legal professional. So you want to make sure that you get clarification and discuss this type of a case with accredited claims agent, VSO, or an accredited attorney. You understand how that may or may not impact your specific situation, because every case is different. Then it may be relevant, right? So I'm going to just read off some facts, okay, from the CDC about military service members and veterans. So service members and military veterans have higher rates of tobacco use than civilians. Cigarette smoking is more common among service members who have been deployed overseas. Cigarette smoking increases your risk for lung cancer, heart disease, chronic bronchitis, and many other diseases. Many service members start using tobacco after they enter the service. This is again from the CDC, Center for Disease and Control. During 2010 to 2015, more than 1 in 5 veterans in the United States reported current cigarette smoking. That's a lot, y'all. In 2018, 14% of veterans enrolled for care reported under current cigarette smoking. And we're going to jump on that in a second. So in addition to adversely affecting their health, the high prevalence of tobacco use among military and veterans has a significant impact on their financial standpoint. Cigarettes are expensive, right? In 2014, the Defense Department spent nearly $1.8 billion in medical and non-medical costs related to tobacco use. During 2010, Veterans Health Administration, or the VHA, spent an estimated $2.7 billion on smoking-related ambulatory care, prescription drugs, hospitalizations, and home health care. Okay. So that's staggering, y'all. That's staggering. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of literature because I like to give a little bit of literature here and there. So I've done a couple of reports related to this, not many, right? But I know smoking is a big deal. So these reports may help you if you follow up with your doctor, your treating doctor, if you are talking to your CMP examiner or whatever. Some of this might help you guys bend your brain around this a little bit. So for PTSD specifically, okay, there's extensive medical literature that shows a link between tobacco use and PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder and tobacco use, a systemic review and meta-analysis published in 2020 in Addictive Behavior, shows that PTSD and tobacco use are prevalent conditions that co-occur at striking rates in the US. The study aimed to review the most recent to examine the comorbidity of PTSD and tobacco use. They reviewed 66 studies, which showed the prevalence of current use of tobacco products in individuals with PTSD was 24%, and the rate of PTSD among tobacco users 20%. It goes on and on to discuss the relevance of mental health conditions and tobacco use. So that's a pretty good study, you guys. Lastly, because I'm so passionate about smoking and quitting smoking, I want to show you guys a resource that's over on va.gov. So I'm gonna share a screen really quick. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let me scroll down here. So this is from va.gov. All right. So this is tobacco and health from va.gov. So it gives you an overview about tobacco use and smoking in the military. This particular article says 7 out of every 10 veterans who smoke would like to quit for both the physical benefit and mental health. Here are some resources on va.gov. And it has a bunch of hyperlinks, mental health and tobacco, substance use and tobacco, HIV and tobacco, women and tobacco. Talks about different approaches like medications, counseling, tobacco cessation quit line, smoke-free vets, which is encouragement while you're quitting. So this is a text messaging program that will provide you daily advice and support. Stay Quit Coach. This is a mobile app. Okay, so this is pretty neat. So my mentalhealth.va.gov/quit/tobacco. Let me jump off the share screen. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Please drop some comments if you guys have anything to say, any questions or anything to add to this, if maybe you experienced this. I hope this was helpful and shed a light on tobacco use, because there's a lot of smokers out there. If you're smoking, quit smoking. It's not good for you. I know that it can be very stressful to have a mental health condition, and it can be a stress relief, but try to find some other resources. Okay. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.